Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold for this Monday, the 22nd day of February in the year of our Lord 2021. Biden once told us while he was vice president that any president who changed law by executive orders was not a president but a dictator. This is probably the only thing that he has said since he was vice president up until now that is actually true. Yet now he is ruling by the pen. From the Epic Times comes this one about a new poll that is out there. Vast majority of Republican voters say leaders should be more like Trump. Seems like the people are finally waking up, huh? A new poll found that 73% of likely Republican voters said that leaders should be more like former President Donald Trump. According to the survey from Rasmussen Reports, it also found that 42% of likely voters said that the recent impeachment proceedings against Trump didn't make much difference in their opinion of the president. And 29% of all voters said the impeachment made their opinion of Trump worse, while 28% said they have a better opinion of Trump after his second impeachment, the poll found. Rasmussen, which some have termed Republican leading, has often cited by Trump during his term in office. The poll's findings, however, echo results from other surveys that found that Republicans still view Trump quite favorably. Earlier in the month, a CBS News poll found that around 70% of Republicans would join or consider joining a new political party if the former commander-in-chief started one. In addition, 46% of respondents identified as Republicans said they believe it is very important for the party to remain loyal to Trump, with 27% saying it is somewhat important. 15% said the Republican Party loyal to Trump was not too important, and 12% said it is not important at all. Meanwhile, another poll several days later revealed that 36% of Republicans called Trump the best president ever, while 18% called President Ronald Reagan the best, 13% called President Abraham Lincoln the best, and 11% said the same for President George Washington. The change in GOP rankings since 2018, when the last survey was conducted, is striking. In 2018, Republicans ranked Reagan first, 36%, followed by Trump, 10%. Now the positions are reversed, and the percentage of Republicans who named Trump as the best president ever having tripled to 36%, twice the number who still chose Ronald Reagan, 18%, according to the survey from the Economist YouGov. Republicans chose Reagan over Trump 36% to 10% in 2018, according to the poll. Republicans who went against Trump during the impeachment trial are facing blowback. 5 of the 7 GOP senators who voted to convict Trump have been censured by members of their own party. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican of Kentucky, who voted to acquit Trump, received severe criticism from Trump last week. He also suggested that Republicans reject McConnell's leadership, arguing that the Senate won't be recaptured by the GOP with longtime Kentucky senator at the helm. The Rasmussen poll was conducted between February 16th and February 17th, surveying 1,000 likely voters. It has a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. Another poll this week, like I had said before, rated the top 4 popular presidents in history, and it listed them as number 1, President Trump, number 2, Ronald Reagan, number 3, Abraham Lincoln, and number 4 is George Washington. When it comes to Trump, folks, he is not done yet. And now to remove the liberal blindfold here. They will be unkind, merciless, slanderous, violent, and fierce, and they will hate the good. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 3. What it seems like here is the people are finally starting to wake the hell up. And for America, that is a good thing. One of the things that the pastor of my church said yesterday was he was talking to a person who was not afraid of COVID and the problems that America was having these days. His answer was simple. I don't watch television, so why be afraid? Which brings us to the problem. Everything the leftists and many other Republicans are doing to America is the problem, not Donald Trump. He was teaching us how to fight back. He was showing us the way to go. But the Democrats, the media, Hollywood, and many of the Republicans, save a few, threw their hands up and said it was wrong to fight, while they all fought back. It was wrong to tell people who were doing the wrong things that they were and are wrong, but right to tell them that they were right. Now the giant tech companies are banning those of us who do have the backbone to do as Trump did and beginning to fight back, while we are being labeled as the bad guys, when in fact we are the ones who will save this nation if the word gets out about us. The main reason that the Democrats are fighting against this happening. God and the Bible never told us not to fight. As a matter of fact, we are supposed to fight for what is right. We are supposed to go to war against tyranny and things that are taking our freedoms away. There are things that you have to realize here before we can go any farther, folks. Frank Zappa once said, civics was a class that used to be required before you could graduate from high school. You were taught what was in the Constitution. After all the student rebellions in the 60s, civics was banished from the student curriculum and was replaced by something called social studies. Here we live in a country that has a fabulous constitution and all these guarantees, a contract between the citizens and the government. Nobody knows what's in it. And it's one of the best kept secrets. And so, if you don't know what your rights are, how can you stand up for them? The government, folks, doesn't want you to know what is in the Constitution. Maybe it is time you learned what is really in the law of the land, rather than listening to the Democrats and the Rhino Republicans describe what's in it. Because they don't know. They just use the words when they want to push their totally un-American ideals upon us. Thank you again for continuing to listen to us here at NWCR, heard through Conservative Nation Media, from behind the silver microphone of freedom with the voice of reason in this increasingly unreasonable world, where America always wins. We will continue to be here to give you the truth that the lamestream lying liberal media and the Democrats in Washington, D.C. will not. This weekend we had 2 good shows as American by Design didn't air, but they will be back next week. I will be back tomorrow with the next blindfold removing event from New Mexico's Freedom Studio. Have a great day, and God bless you all.